Yo, what is good YouTube, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys the fastest, easiest way to go ahead and get yourself level 1000 in Fish. I was able to do this in about a day, going from level 100 all the way up to level 1000 using a couple different things here and there. But stick around to the end of the video to see every single possible way and how to maximize your XP gain in Fish, because Fish has made a big comeback and so am I. But like I said, we've hit that 10,000 mark, but we are always going for more, so don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the video. So you guys want to know how to easily get level 1000. Obviously before you needed level 1000 to get rods like the Polaris Serenade, but unfortunately they are no longer in the game. But there is also many other things you need level 1000 for, like you need it to go ahead and obtain yourself the Seraphic rod. You need it to go ahead and get most of the boats in the game, to even get to some areas, and also in the future you're going to need level 1000 for many things. So the first things we're going to go over is kind of like the boring stuff and the stuff loads of people already know. You know, the main thing you guys want to know is what is the best area to go ahead and farm XP, to how I was able to go from level 100 to level 1000 in about 2 days. So the first things we're going to talk about is obviously the ways you can just boost your XP just in general. And obviously the first way is if we go on into the shop and we go ahead and scroll down towards the game passes, there is going to be the double XP game pass, and this game pass is only 239 Robux, which I'm not gonna lie, is not bad at all, especially for what it gives you and what you get. And also it is probably going to be one of the most, you know, best game passes that you can go ahead and buy, because if we're going ahead and look at all the other ones are kind of, you know, kind of iffy. Like the Sal anyway, you know, you can just go to a Sal. The supporter, you know, the emote pack's pretty cool. I like doing emotes, especially for my intros and stuff, but there is other things you are able to go ahead and do in the game. So if we go ahead and look at my no life rod over here, which is the rod I was actually using to go ahead and get the level 1000, you can go ahead and get clever on that using normal relics. And then also if you go ahead and use the new cosmic relics, you are able to go ahead and get another enchant as a side enchant that gives you 1.2 times XP. The other ways that you are able to go ahead and level up an insane amount is by doing your aquarium. So try ahead and get some really good fish to be able to go ahead and put in there. As you guys can see, this will give me 695,000 XP as soon as I go ahead and claim that, and 695,000 XP is a lot of XP, and also it does indeed get doubled. So as you guys can see, it just gave me 1.39 million, and that is because of obviously I have the 2 times XP game pass. The next thing you are probably wondering about is where is actually the best place to go ahead and fish, to go ahead and get the most amount out of, you know, actually fishing, and the most amount out of your time. Also, I did this without using a macro at all, and it was genuinely all just me fishing, and it did not even take me long at all. So if we go ahead and jump on into the boat here, we are going to be looking for a strange whirlpool. So when I go ahead and find one of them, guys, I will get back to you. Okay, guys, so after about 10 or 15 minutes and like 3 server hops, I have finally went ahead and found a strange whirlpool, and we're just going to go ahead and jump straight on in here, and we are looking to go down towards the desolate deep. Well, obviously the vertigo here, but the main reason we're doing this is to go down to the desolate deep. So we're going to want to do is just going to jump straight down here. So obviously if you are a newer player, you're going to have to actually fish up this key right here to go on into the desolate deep, and then you're going to want to go ahead and do this parkour over here. It's not a very hard parkour. You don't need the glider for it, but I'm just going to do the glider because it is way faster. And then once you go all the way through here, you're going to just keep following the way that I am going. It is a pretty straightforward path to actually go ahead and get there, and a lot of people might already know about this spot, but like I said, the main people watching these videos are going to be the people that are trying to level up as fast as possible. If you're later into the game, then you probably already know about this, or you have probably been told about this area by probably your friends that do play this game. But we're going to keep on following over here, and once you get over here, you're going to have obviously the merchant here, you're going to have the quest guy, you're going to have these red crystals. You're going to want to go to where the red crystals are, and you're going to see this like bridge thing kind of over here. You're going to want to jump on this rock, jump up here, and there's going to be a little crack in the wall here that you're able to go ahead and actually jump up here, if I can actually parkour. And then you're going to see that you can either go down this way or you can go down this way, and what we are looking for is we are looking for this black hole over here. So we're going to keep running on over here, and we are actually going to go ahead and walk straight on into this, and as you guys can see, it is going to teleport us into a crystal cove. And what I would suggest for you guys is to go ahead and set your spawn in the innkeeper, because this water right here, if you guys do not know, I made this mistake about 3 times before I did know that this area right here is actually toxic and can go ahead and kill you. So if you don't go ahead and set your spawn, it's going to be a long day. I'll be back in 1 second, chat. Okay, so as I was saying before, The water is toxic here, so it's probably best to go ahead and set your spawn, but unfortunately my spawn somewhere that's even harder to get to, so I'm not going to do that. So what you're going to want to do is you're not going to want to be an idiot, and what I like to do is I like to go ahead and jump on up here, go to the top of this up here, and basically just jump all the way across. The only place you are able to go ahead, oh my god, I nearly went in the water again. The only place you're able to fish is obviously this area over here, and like I said, you're going to want a good rod, okay? So before I even got to the no life rod, I think I was using like the rod of the depths or something like that, which like I said, they're pretty easy rod to get. You basically just need a rod that you can, you can catch things with, right? And I would highly suggest that you guys go into public service with this, because when people are popping auroras, it basically makes this area absolutely insane. As you guys see from a pufferfish, I'm getting 14,000 XP, and if I were to go ahead and obviously, have the auroras popping, which I might go ahead and pop just to show you guys that this area can actually be insanely good. So if I go ahead and pop a aurora right now, I mean, people are going to get pretty annoyed if I do pop an aurora, because obviously they're going to want the sparkling, not the sparkling. I cannot use it right now, yes, because everybody is using foggy, and also, it's a bit of a laggy one. But like I said, once you go ahead and get the mythical from this area, or even just the legendaries, you're going to see the mass amount of XP that you can go ahead and get. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fish in this area for a little bit and see what we can go ahead and get our hands on. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jump on over into a private server. I'm going to pop some auroras just so I can do a little bit more of a kind of fair test. But as you guys see, I went ahead and got a legendary there. It gave me around 60 or 70,000 XP. And like I said, it's just insane. But let me go ahead and jump on into my private server, and then we'll do a little bit more of a fairer test.
Okay, guys, so it's been a couple hours because I had to go ahead and do something, but I've come to realize in that time that if I do it with an aurora, I don't think it's much of a fair test, because not everyone's gonna be able to pop auroras. It's very expensive, and like I said, this is more for the newer players to go ahead and hit that level 1000, and you guys are not gonna be able to have auroras. And with the current state of the game right now, a lot of people are just popping smokies, and a lot of the servers are broken because of all the totems people are popping. So having the auroras probably isn't gonna be the best of tests. So we're gonna go ahead and just sit here, and I'm gonna just go ahead and grind for, I'm gonna say for my time it's gonna be about 5, maybe even 10 minutes or so, but for you guys it's gonna be pretty quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and get straight on into fishing, and hopefully you guys can just see like how kind of good it is. Obviously I am already max level, but hopefully you guys can just see when they're popping up of the levels that I am go ahead and getting.
I smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. I know. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. I know. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. I know. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. I know.
So after about 10 minutes with no auroras, as you guys can see, I got around 3 or 4 mythicals, but with auroras, you'll be getting legendaries and mythicals basically 24/7. Obviously, I would go ahead and pop them, but as you guys can see, if I go ahead and try and pop an aurora in here, it cannot be used during time acceleration, and that happens in near enough 99% of servers. So hopefully try and get a server that allows you to pop auroras in, because obviously, a lot of people do have them now, considering money isn't as hard to get. Like I said, focus on your aquarium as much as possible, and also try and focus on getting those perfect catches. If you guys did not know, getting a perfect catch greatly increases your XP from the mythicals. If I don't get a perfect catch, I get around 90,000, whereas with a perfect catch, I get around 135k. So getting level 1000 should be very easy, I would say, if you're going from the point that I was at, which was around level like 250, all the way up to the level 1000. It took me around 6 hours, obviously including the aquarium as well. But obviously, if you don't have the aquarium, it may take you a little bit longer, but the aquarium isn't too hard to get good things in them, especially because a lot of you guys might have some friends that are able to play this game. But like I said, I'm going to try and post a lot more stuff on Fish, stream a lot more Fish, and help you guys out as much as I possibly can. So let me know down in the comments what type of videos you guys want to see. But this being said, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and ka-ciao.